want that. Special delivery. I need that. Special delivery.
Welcome to the Special Delivery Podcast, delivering you what you don't know and what you should know about anchovies. I'm your host, Special. On the phone, I got Apollo Brown. Hello.
Hey, what up?
So we have to talk about anchovies. Once I even heard that you guys were dropping this, I was just hooked. Like, because you're so dope, Planet Asia is so dope, and the both of you coming together, I already knew it was going to be great. And then I heard it, and I was like, yes. Just yes. It's so good.
That's what's up.
Starting off, why did you guys choose to leave The Smell with no lyrics?
I'm one of those people that have to have an intro on all my albums. Mm-hmm. I feel like I can't just start an album off with a song. It just doesn't feel right to me. Like I can't, just jump right into a song when you turn the album on. No. I got to have something that, just like a lot of my beats. Like a lot of my beats, you don't just jump right into the song. It always has some type of lead up to it. I can't. That's just me. That's just how it is. So the smell is just something that kind of acclimates you. It acclimates the listener. Kind of gets you involved a little bit, your ears involved a little bit on what you're getting ready to hear. It's just something that, gets you ready. All right, cool, I'm about to acclimate the ears. It's not really a beat. It's just a sample that I just felt like, no, let's not put words over it. I don't want to put words over that.
It definitely sets the tone. And that's why when I phrased the question, I wasn't like, why did you leave it as a beat? Why did you leave it with no lyrics? Because it's not, like you said, it's not really a beat. It's really like a sample and more of like an instrumentation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Planet Asia is one of my favorite spitters. What is your favorite Planet Asia line on this album?
When he says in Avant-Garde, he says, hopping out the Tesla, making rapper gestures.
The essence, 4-finger rings, my half-moon crescent. Hopping out the Tesla, making rapper gestures. I'm under pressure just to get my extras. You just a heckler, the fruit of my own thinking was sacred nectar.
That's a great line to me because it's just funny because it's kind of an inside joke between me and Asia too, because I always make fun of him for making all these hand movements and stuff, and then I always say that hip hop, especially in like videos and even photo shoots and even just taking photos with fans and stuff, hip hop seems to be just one big, just one big hand gesture. Like it's a lot of unnecessary hand movements and a lot of unnecessary finger pointing. I always say that overseas. I'm like, these pictures are a lot of unnecessary finger pointing because you either point at yourself, pointing at the guy next to you, putting peace sign up, pointing up in the sky, pointing at the camera. It's unnecessary finger pointing. We don't know what to do with our hands. And as a producer and an MC, we don't know what to do with our hands.
Yeah.
So it's like rapper gestures. That's just something that, he said hopping out the Tesla, making rapper gestures. That's a good line. I like that line.
It really is. I love it. I love the perspective too. I think the line that sticks with me the most is coconut oil, my bitch is loyal. Because that felt good for the ladies.
Another one would be pocket stick like Oprah in The Color Purple.
Yes, and
great line.
That's on the same one where he was talking about God don't like ugly, so if you're broke, there's a reason.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's a good line too. That's a good line too. He said that. You know what? That was one line we talked about a lot. He said, if you're broke, then God is trying to tell you something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's those are good lines.
I'm on my double up, hustle my gang duffel, pocket stick like Oprah in The Color Purple. The universe is mental, so if your ass is broke, then God is trying to tell you something. I'm in the mix for the chips, skip the politics.
This whole album, like somebody says, is like a hip hop quotable. So it's like mad hip hop quotables in this album.
And you talked about how you always wanted to make an album like this your whole career. Very dirty, very gritty. At what point did you know that you wanted it to be with Planet Asia?
I've wanted to do an album with Planet Asia for a long time. And, when I found out that him and Ginsu was going to do an album called Abrasions a few years back, I was jealous. I was like, man, come on. Because Ginsu is on Mellow Music Group. So I was telling Mike, who runs Mellow, I was like, yo, man, what's up? Like, I've been wanting to do this album with Planet Asia forever. And I was just real jealous, man. So it got to the point where the idea came up for me to remix 5 songs from the Abrasions album, and then Ginsu Dean remixes 5 songs from the Dice Game album, because those 2 albums came out around the same time.
Yep.
And so that was, and we were just going to put it all together and make one album out of it, just kind of one remix album. And we did that, and it's just like, yo, man, Asia's just, I've always loved his delivery, his voice, his content, and he just sounds so good over my music. So then we just started doing work together. He was on the Dice Game album, and he was on Grandeur. And we always see each other overseas, and it was something we've always talked about and just never got around to it. And finally we had the opportunity, and it's like, come on, let's do it, man. Let's make this album. And I was like, I got the perfect soundscape. I know exactly where I want to go with it, and you're going to sound perfect over it. So there you go.
It's so dope. I love it. Were you guys able to be in studio together?
Absolutely. We cut the whole album together.
Yes.
Yep.
I love that.
No, that's one of the only things we have left, in hip hop or in this day and age of technology, is getting in the studio together and vibing out together and making it organic as possible. A lot of people, all they do now is email albums. I don't do email albums. I hate email albums. I need to vibe out with you. I need to see you. I need to see your face when I play a beat. I need you to see my face when you come out the booth after spitting the 16. I need that one-on-one in-person feedback and those ideas and those opinions and the trade-offs and everything else that goes on in person when you're making an album. You want it organic. You want it to come together like the perfect marriage. So you can't do that on email. You can't do that over the phone. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's just not. One song, cool. 2 songs, cool. But, not an album. If we're going to make an album, this is personal to me. We're making an album, it's personal. And these beats are my kids. And for me to let you basically watch or take care of my beats, I got to get to know you. We have to get to know each other. We need to be around each other. We need to eat together. We need to, converse and laugh together. And it's almost like interviewing a babysitter for your real kids.
Yep.
You're not just going to stick some person with your kids without interviewing them first or without getting to know that person first and seeing how that person is and how they're going to treat your kids. No, you got to... It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And I feel like that helps out conceptually, too. Like, you guys are able to bounce concepts off each other and really, you know what I mean? Because anchovies means more than just anchovies. Like, you've talked about how you either like it or you don't. Like, it's
absolutely
one way or the other. So I can imagine just bouncing concepts off each other when it comes to the album, to the beats, to the lyrics, like just being able to bounce off each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just, it's just you going back and forth and developing concepts, opinions, ideas, coming up with new things as you hear certain things. You're like, it should go like this, or just new ideas, and you're bouncing them off each other. And it's one of those processes that we can't let go. We can't let that go.
I love it. And then how'd you guys go about choosing the features? I feel like the features were very particular on this one.
They are. They're very... they were obviously handpicked, and it was just something that, when it comes to a feature, it has to make sense. We don't choose features because of the name or because of their popularity. You choose features because it makes sense. Guilty Simpson makes sense.
Yes.
Willie the Kid makes sense. Tri-State made sense. And for that particular track, these are hand-selected, these are the features that were supposed to be on this album. We didn't just get anyone. And if these features didn't happen, we wouldn't have had features. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just one of those things where, and when we reached out, they were like, yeah, of course, absolutely, I got you right now. Let's do it. And that's the kind of clout and kind of respect that we have in this industry, and they do too. Because they reach out to me. Of course, I got Guilty. I got Willie. I got Tri-State. Of course, like, yo, let's do it. And that's you get this commonality and this common respect in hip hop to where it's not a money thing anymore. It's a barter thing. It's like, yo, I'll do this. Yeah, man, just throw me a beat, you know, or I'll do this. Just throw me a verse, or I'll just do this for the love. Like, yo, because I'm a fan, and, you know, we'll work together someday in the future. Let's do it. Let's just work. Make good music. We got this common goal to make good music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those things.
That's a beautiful thing. And then what was your favorite thing that you sampled on this album? I know better than to ask you the actual samples, so I'm like,
no, I'm not gonna obviously not gonna divulge the actual sample, but probably Get Back is one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. I enjoy doing that one.
Oh man, y'all keep playing with me, man. Keep fucking playing with me. You're gonna learn. Yeah, this that Get Back, nigga, Get Back.
I enjoy doing Fire because that was a sample I've always wanted to use, and I just never got around to it. It's always just been in the stash, chilling. And I've watched other people use it, and then I'm just like, damn, man. Well, but then I'm like, you know what? Forget it, man. I'm just going to use it, you know. And so I watched other people use those samples.
I know you're gonna lie, what I got, baby.
Fuck I'm talking about, man. Sure. Magic Mantra, Moonlight, Melodic Contra.
Dalai Lama Slang, that was, I enjoyed that one. Same thing. I watched other people use it and just felt jealous that I didn't get the chance to use it or just been sitting on it.
We a whole different strain, swordsman, sorcery, professionally trained. With 7.5 ounces of brain, this is gold chain, Dalai Lama slang. We a whole different strain, swordsman, sorcery, professionally trained.
Those are probably my favorites of, you know, sample usage.
And then you guys have a video for The Aura out now. What is the next song you'd like to see a video for?
We actually have 3 videos so far. But we only have the one out, or The Aura is the only one out. But we'll have another video for Get Back and another video for Deep in the Casket.
Dope.
So, and that's so far. We might make a couple more. We'll see. You know, just didn't really realize that people were going to feel this album so much. So that was well, I mean, like I said, it's a niche album. It's something that's not for everybody, and it's not your typical, you know, Apollo Brown heavy drums type of style. So, you know, but this album is ringing off like crazy online, and so we probably need to add some more content to the campaign. Anything else you want to tell the people? Yeah, I just want to tell the people thank you very much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. You know, if it wasn't for the fans, you know, Apollo Brown wouldn't be a household name. And so I definitely appreciate it. And I really appreciate y'all latching onto this Anchovies project because I didn't expect it. So it's great how everything's just ringing off right now for the project. And I hope it keeps going. And I hope it's because people are just, you know, I think it's one of those albums that people are afraid to make, and because of, you know, standards, industry standards and all that other stuff and what people are going to think. And I hope it inspires people to make the albums they want to make, you know. So I appreciate everybody. You know, check me out on Instagram at Apollo Brown. Check me out on Twitter at Apollo Brown. And of course on Facebook under Apollo Brown. So, and I appreciate you for having me.
No problem.